Some South Florida home buyers are using AI to purchase homes instead of using an agent. Andrea Linares from Fox and Noticias joins me now. Andrea, tell me, how does this work? You don't even have to see the home?
It's incredible. Well, you do have to see the home. First of all, good morning, Stuart, and thanks so much for having me on. And many people are wondering whether artificial intelligence is changing real estate or streamlining it. So basically, buying a home, we all know, can be stressful. It's time consuming and it's very expensive, especially when you start adding those real estate agent commissions, right? So there's this new AI-powered platform. It's called HOMA. It's available in the state of Florida. They promise to reduce time, and here's the key part. They promise to make it more affordable. Don't we all want to save money? Typically, the seller pays for the buyer's agent commission, but by using HOMA, this platform, that commission then goes to the buyer. You are saving thousands of dollars, money which you can apply towards closing costs. You essentially create a profile on their platform. You search for your future dream home, your dream property. They give you those listings. You can go ahead and schedule a tour. Then they even tell you how much bargaining power you have, meaning how many days that home has been on the market, whether or not it's been relisted a couple of times. They help you submit that offer, and hopefully you can close on that deal. They do give you a licensed transaction broker, and that's just to give you an extra layer of consumer protection. Some real estate agents I've spoken to are skeptical, and that's understandable, right? When you talk about artificial intelligence, many people wonder, well, is it going to take my job? And they too wonder whether or not it's eliminating this very important component, which is the human element. It's a matter of professionals learning to embrace AI. And just to give you some data, according to Morgan Stanley, AI could automate 30% of real estate tasks, creating an estimated $34 billion in operational savings by the year 2030, Stuart.
Not bad, I'd say. Let me change the subject for a second, Andrea. Today, President Trump hosts Venezuela's opposition leader, María Corina Machado, at the White House. Do the people of South Florida want her to be the next leader of Venezuela?
They do here in South Florida, and they do believe it will eventually be María Corina Machado. So this is a very high-profile meeting, the first time that President Trump and opposition leader María Corina Machado meet face-to-face. It also happens 12 days after that very incredible U.S. operation, which was conducted in Venezuela to capture Nicolás Maduro and his wife, Celia Flores. There are several things to look out for. It's a symbolic meeting, but many topics will be on the table. Venezuelans and many experts I've spoken to say they want to know more details about Venezuela's political transition. Let's remember, even though Nicolás Maduro is no longer in power, his inner circle, his allies are still there. I am talking about Delcy Rodriguez, Jorge Rodriguez, Diosdado Cabello, and all of them are also responsible for the atrocities that we've seen inside Venezuela. So it's a matter of Trump and Machado figuring out how to carefully move forward. Another important topic on the table to watch out for is the release of political prisoners. Venezuelans now have a hashtag. It's release them all. Human rights organizations say there are more than 800 political prisoners in Venezuela, and so far the regime has been slowly and very selectively releasing some of them. However, when a regime starts to release some political prisoners, it's not just a random act of kindness. It's not just out of love. It's because they are feeling the pressure. They are being squeezed and starting to cooperate. Now, what people here really want is transparency. They want a list with the names of those prisoners and confirmation of who's detained and who has been released. Stuart.
Do the Cubans that you talk to want President Trump to help get rid of the Havana regime in Cuba, perhaps forcefully? I know you're of Cuban extraction yourself.
Well, Cuban Americans overall, what they are telling me is that they believe without U.S. direct involvement, the regime will somehow eventually collapse. That's where they are placing their bets on. And this is the situation. Oil is a key component in this whole formula. Why? Because Venezuela was providing that lifeline for Cuba for decades by sending those oil shipments. Without those oil shipments, well, basically, Cuba is entering a terrible situation, worse than we can have ever imagined. As Secretary of State Marco Rubio said, it's a disaster. President Donald Trump saying it's a failing nation. Let's remember, they have frequent blackouts. People don't have power for about 20 hours a day. So now Mexico is stepping in. They're upping their game, sending oil shipments. Mexico's President Claudia Sheinbaum saying they're doing this for humanitarian reasons. However, they are essentially backing this regime. So now the Trump administration is weighing options to see how they can pressure Mexico to stop these oil shipments. And that's where Cuban Americans say they believe the Cuban regime may collapse. Other experts say, wait, not so fast. They don't think the Cuban government can fall on its own, Stuart.
Thank you, Andrea. We will be watching you on Fox Noticias, weekdays, 4 p.m. Eastern. Thanks very much.